Getting set for the start of the fourth. Big game for each team. Utah State trying to stay neck and neck with Boise State in the Mountain Division standings, trying for the first ever title game in conference history. Colorado State needs a win to become bowl eligible for the first time since 2008. We start the fourth. On third down, Grayson throws. A big catch made. Joe Hansley, star receiver for Colorado State, ace on special teams, has the grab. Welcome back, Dave and Adam. What do you look forward to most, Arch, in this fourth quarter? It's a big game for each team here.
It is. This is a huge fourth quarter. Now, finally, you've seen in the second half, the Rams are able to get something going. This drive is absolutely critical. They've been able to convert a few times on third down. They've had some production on first down, but it's not going to matter. If they don't come out of this drive right now with points, that's going to hurt their chances of climbing back into this ball game.
There's an injury timeout at the moment here. You talk about what this means for Colorado State, bowl eligibility for the first time since 2008. None of the players in the current roster have made a bowl game. The extra practices, 15 more, that means so much, like an extra spring practice for CSU, and just the momentum in year two of Jim McElwain trying to create something in Fort Collins.
Yeah, and they finally started to turn this corner. The offense in the last month has started to play well. They found some home run hitters, some guys that can kind of stretch the field. But right now, if you're the Utah State defense, the fact that you may not have a healthy Capri Bibbs, you don't really have to respect the downfield play action game. That plays into the hands of the Aggies, and I think you're seeing that being played out on the field right now.
Bibbs has a toe injury, has not been as effective. Of course, he has been in weeks past, back-to-back Mountain West Offensive Player of the Week honors, more than 300 yards a game. He has been something. There's an injured player. Stewart is injured. Rashard Stewart, the junior defensive back from Miami. Let's see what happened here, Arch.
Number 6 right there. You see him as he's trying to make the tackle on Hansley. And it looks like maybe the linebacker, Jake Dowdy, ran into his head or his neck. And it's really hard to tell what's going on.
Stewart, 2.5 tackles for loss and a sack this year, is injured. Matt Wells, of course, very concerned, his head coach.
Adam Zucker with you from New York. We heard Oregon players this week not so enthused about playing in the Rose Bowl, and they may not have to even worry about that because they didn't show up to face Arizona today. Kadeem Carey with his third touchdown of the game. It's 35-9 there at the end of the third. A loss would give Stanford the Pac-12 North because the Cardinal are rolling. Fresno State also all over New Mexico right now. A win for the Bulldogs here, and Derek Carr, who has thrown 3 touchdowns, would give them the West Division of the Mountain West. Now back to Dave and Adam and the injury in Logan. Dave, how's things?
Adam, thanks so much. Rashard Stewart, unfortunately, is still down for Utah State. Both teams out on the field. Some players on one knee. Trying to give Stewart their best thoughts. Junior from Miami. And a backup left cornerback to Quentin Byrd for Utah State. It's 10-0 our game here. Fourth quarter just underway from Logan as the Aggies try to win their 7th and stay neck and neck with Boise State atop the Mountain Division of the Mountain West. CSU needs a win for bowl eligibility. 4-8 last year in Jim McElwain's first season. They need 7 wins because they played Hawaii this year, and with that, the option for 13 regular season games, which they did take. So the Mountain Division, Boise State plays at San Diego State on CBS Sports Network later tonight. After our Tulsa, Louisiana Tech Conference USA matchup, which is next, second of the 3 games on CBS Sports Network today and tonight. Wyoming in a wild game with 11 seconds of the fourth, tied with Hawaii, 56 all. Hawaii has not won a game this year. They're 0-10 coming in. So the top three here, Arch. Boise State has the tiebreaker in hand because they beat Utah State head-to-head.
Yep, and Hawaii, they've been so close in some of these games. You'd think it, you know, for Norm Chow, they would break through at least one time. But, like, the Mountain West, so competitive this year. I mean, it's been a great battle in both divisions. Of course, Fresno State with, you know, the sudden problems that San Jose has had over there in their division. You know, obviously, everybody very happy right now that Rashad Stewart is leaving the field. Hopefully, it's not something too serious, and this is just all for precautionary reasons. And it's one of those plays, Dave, where you kind of look at it and you don't really see anything major that happened where you can point to it and say, oh yeah, that's what's going on. It was just one of those fluke type plays in the middle of a scrum, and you just hope that he's going to be all right.
Face mask removed, precautionary reasons, and we'll hear from Evan as soon as possible on Rashard Stewart, his condition. So scary. We hope he's all right. Back underway here. First down. And Eric Williams, the true freshman from Castle Rock, Colorado, has another carry with Bibbs out with that toe injury. It's a loss of 3. Williams had not had a carry on the season coming into this game and only appeared on special teams for Colorado State.
Well, it really doesn't matter if you're Capri Bibbs or anybody who's back there. You have to do your job at the line of scrimmage, and B.J. Larson exploding into the backfield, and now you got another second long for the Ram offense.
Grayson, double move. Across the sideline looking for Kevon Cartwright, who ran into Nevin Lawson around the 30. That's not close, incomplete. Grayson, 12 of 26 for 109 yards and 1 interception today.
Nice job by Nevin Lawson, trying to set up the double move, but that's his perfect technique. He easily rolls upfield with Kevon Cartwright. Nowhere for Grayson to throw the football. They just have struggled, of course, because of the weather, but the inability to get the ball downfield has allowed the Aggies to load up and stop the run.
Only 175 total yards for Colorado State today. Big third down. Grayson, pressure coming over the middle, incomplete. Trying to hit Jordan Vaden, the redshirt freshman from Henderson, Colorado. Fourth down again for Colorado State. They just can't get going offensively today.
And for some reason, I don't know, I'm not sure exactly why, but they've come into this game, or at least in this second half, and they're trying to attack Nevin Lawson, whether it's Kevon Cartwright or Jordan Vaden. We haven't really seen much of Rashard Higgins, but Nevin Lawson is just shutting down that right side of that left side of the offense. You might want to take a shot at the other cornerbacks.
Rugby-style kick. Hayden Hunt trying to keep it away from JoJo Natson, who's so dangerous. Who plays on a hop. Little stop-and-go move. Runs right. Has room. JoJo Natson turns the corner. Hayden Hunt, the punter, forcing it back in. But it's a huge return for JoJo Natson. Close to midfield. 41-yard scamper back upfield for Bruce Natson, only 147 pounds, Arch.
Angles and leverage. You have him bottled up right there near the sideline. You've got to be able to keep contained on the other side. I mean, that's exactly what you want. Your punt returner to run into the sideline and you close in on him, but to allow a guy like that athletic ability, that change of direction to be able to reverse field and get up around midfield, that's just bad special teams play by the Rams.
And now JoJo Natson is hurt. Rashard Stewart was carted off. Evan Washburn, how's he doing?
Well, guys, I caught up with one of the paramedics as they took Rashad Stewart off the field. Now, he will head to Logan Regional Hospital, but the good news is he is responding. There is some movement in his extremities, but obviously they want to take every precaution necessary. So that's the word from the paramedics with Logan Regional. Guys.
And there's Rashard Stewart on the tackle of Joe Hansley being taken off a few moments ago. Evan, thanks for that. That hospital literally is right around the corner from Romney Stadium. named for the all-time winningest coach in Utah State history, JoJo Natson, being attended to by Aggie trainers. Here comes Utah State and Garrettson. Got to figure we're getting a lot of Joey DiMartino here. Run some clock. He's run for 109 yards today. Pass on first down. Garrettson takes a shot. Deep downfield for Reynolds. Incomplete at the 5. Nearly makes the catch. A great effort by Bernard Blake. And Reynolds is slow to get up.
Yeah, he landed really awkwardly on his right knee. When he came down and his right knee planted into the ground. Great job by Blake. But watch as he lands. Right there. That's when it happened. You see him grab almost instantly that right knee.
Back-to-back-to-back injuries for Utah State.
Just an awful three-play sequence.
Hart Stewart, JoJo Natson, and now star receiver Travis Reynolds, who has got the most catches and yards and touchdown grabs of anyone on the Aggie roster.
And it was really having a breakout year. You know, he's been a kind of a role player here for the last 3 seasons, but he has developed into the guy, the downfield guy in this offense. But he is not, you could tell right away, he was not happy with the way he landed when he came down from that attempt.
Chucky Keaton, Joe Hill, Kyle Wimpy, DJ Tialavea, all lost for the year. Starters offensively for Utah State. We had a really nice meeting with Travis yesterday. Wants to get into coaching when he's done playing football. A senior from Lauderdale Lakes, Florida. Did not have the ACT scores to get into Miami. He was the best receiver at the Miami summer camp. That's where he wanted to go play football for the U. On signing day, he had no offers. And his ACTs came in right after signing day, got the good numbers. Utah State made an offer, and he accepted. It's been a great move for him, he said. Sideline now, second down. Here's DiMartino. Looks for some room, not much there. Max Morgan first to get to him, gain of 3. And a big third down coming up for the Ram defense. Utah State only has 171 total yards in this game, Mark. It's not like the CSU defense has struggled.
Yeah, it's been tough. Both defenses playing pretty well, but it's the field position battle that's been the difference.
Here's third down. Pass over the middle is incomplete. Swindle, the intended receiver, near the 40-yard line. Bernard Blake and James helping defend Brandon Swindle on the misfire from Garrettson. Punt time again for Utah State.
And you can see right there, both teams lacking a little bit of energy. We've had a lot of stoppages because of injuries, and 3 in a row basically, and so that's very difficult. That's very, very hard to get kind of that energy back and that emotion back. So, you would expect somebody from Colorado State to make a spark, get something going, get some energy and some life back into their team.
Ben Trude punts to Joe Hansley. Fair caught at the 14. Third 3 and out of the game for Utah State. Now Colorado State off a 33-yard punt. Takes over again.
See you in the morning, my friend. Bright and early.
Aggie defensive coordinator Todd Orlando would love to add this stat. Last shutout for Utah State, 49-0 in Logan against Arkansas State, 2003. Take a look at the BCS standings driven by the all-new 2014 Jeep Cherokee. A lot of FCS games, Arch.
Yeah,
this late. But I do love the Baylor-Oklahoma State matchup tonight.
Yeah, I don't like seeing this when you're sitting here in November and Bruce Clark, our great producer, his alma mater, Indiana. I'm sure he doesn't like to see that up there. But what about Arizona taking it to Oregon? Just when you think you've arrived, just when you think you deserve better, like you've heard some of the Oregon players saying this season, look what happens.
Here's Garrett Grayson on first down to Rashard Hollywood Higgins. Quentin Bird makes the stop. Evan, a lot of injuries. What's going on down there?
Well, Travis Reynolds' day is done with that right knee injury. And good news, spoke with head trainer Mike Williams, and he said that it looks to just be a concussion with Rashad Stewart. Again, obviously they'll take every precaution necessary, but again, he had movement. He was responding. They are pretty sure it's just a concussion. That was Mike Williams, head trainer for Utah State.
That's good news, Evan, on Rashard Stewart's status. 2nd and 4. Comes some pressure. Grayson enveloped in blue. Zach Vigil. Got to him first. That's a big loss.
Right here, just beats the block. Again, doing a great job up inside, squeezing through that hole and getting to Garrett Grayson. This has been a good performance so far today by the Aggies on defense. I know they've kind of been helped a little bit by the weather and the fact that Bibbs isn't healthy, but they have gotten after it. They've done a great job of stuffing this veteran line in the running game and also able to get to Grayson and forcing 3rd and long situations.
On 3rd down, pressure from Fackrell coming over the middle. Intercepted by Nick Vigil. A diving pick for the freshman linebacker of Utah State. A spectacular play.
This is a beautiful thing. Awareness for the freshman. You're going to see him. He's going to roll right up underneath. Just a great feel and a great knack for where Joe Hansley is. And to have the athletic ability, the concentration for the diving interception, that's just outstanding. And this is a guy they're trying to get on the field. Redshirt freshman, they feel like he is going to play a big role in this defense, trying to get him some experience. And he plays the pass absolutely as good as you could play it.
How about this day for the Vigil family, partner? Zach, first career interception. Younger brother, freshman Nick, first career pick as well in one game. First down. DiMartino stopped immediately by Max Morgan. We had a nice meeting yesterday with Zach Vigil, who said his younger brother Nick got the full scholarship offer for Utah State. Zach had to go through the walk-on route for 2 years here. It's kind of a bummer, but he said, hey, look, Nick's a really great athlete, also recruited by Utah and BYU. So the brother's got to be happy about that.
Yeah, sometimes you got to pave the way.
DiMartino again. Shaquille Bell, first to get to Joey DiMartino. Loss of 1. And the Vigils have got to be pretty pleased about that, coming from Clearfield, Utah. Not far from where we are here in Logan.
Dave, this Aggie offense, they played almost the entire afternoon in enemy territory. It's as a defensive player, it gets exhausting when every time you go out on the field, you're trying to defend your own turf. And it's been the inability of the Rams on offense to be able to try and change that field position.
Big stop here, though. Whistle stop play, timeout for Colorado State. Their first play stoppage used in the second half. We'll take a timeout as well. Coach McElwain's team desperately needs a stop right here on 3rd down coming up. A beautiful day, Wasatch Mountains here in Logan, Utah. 10-0 Utah State trying to hang on for another win this year. And it's a great day in Melbourne, Florida as well. There's Royce David Ryan, Arch, our youngest. Happy birthday, little Royce. He's 1 today. He loves the playground.
Yeah, happy birthday, big guy. I didn't know you can have kids that good looking, Dave.
All thanks to my beautiful wife, Tess.
How'd that happen?
Yeah, you know, I married up. That's the way it goes. 3rd and 15 here. Thanks to our great crew for putting that on. Happy birthday, Royce. Here's 3rd down. Garrettson, lots of time. Throws over the middle. DiMartino makes a catch. Shaquille Bell wraps him up, puts him down. Nice tackle by the CSU corner in space inside the 30. Fourth down coming up on a short field there. We'll see what Matt Wells has got in mind. Another injury. This is Aaron Davis, the star linebacker for Colorado State, who's shaken up.
This second half has been something when it comes to injuries for both of these teams.
Takes a timeout for injury.
Junior linebacker down. And a big play last week against New Mexico running back Caruso Gongbe that led to Capri Bibbs' 5th of 6 rushing touchdowns for the Rams last week against New Mexico. Been very effective from the will linebacker spot. Led the Rams 84 tackles last year, second with 95 on the season coming into this game today.
You can see they're working on that right leg again. It's hard to see exactly what they're trying to do, checking out the range of motion in that knee. Oh boy, that was on a crackback block by Sean Johnson. A blind side.
And ladies and gentlemen, a hand for number 37, Eric Davis.
A physical, injury-laden game here today in Logan. Frigid temperatures, high winds, defensive struggle. Neither passing attack effective at all. Sean Johnson, his first career touchdown catch 2 weeks back at UNLV in the Aggies' last game. Blindside shot here, Arch.
Yeah, one of those plays where you say, you know, keep your head on a swivel. And I'm surprised, just based on the rules and kind of how things are going in this day and age in college football, that wasn't flagged. I'm not saying that it should have been a penalty, but I'm just surprised that they didn't call that because it was away from the play.
Diaz on for a long field goal attempt here. And with gusting winds, this will be challenging. From 44. He's got it. A line drive over the crossbar from 44. Second field goal made of the day and 14th of the season for Nick Diaz, the junior from Redondo Beach, California. Extends the Aggie lead to 13-0.
Yeah, now you're Jim McElwain, and you got to score 2 touchdowns. And that's all there is about it. And the way things have been going so far offensively and their inability to get the ball downfield in the passing game, that seems like it may be a tall order, especially considering that I'm not so sure that Capri Bibbs is the Capri Bibbs of the last 5 games. And I think they might have caught a break. You know, you look at the flags up there.
Not as windy right now, right?
No, not as windy at all. So I'm sure that factored into Matt Wells' decision to kick that field goal.
Schlager, the backup safety, decked through the holder there. Good sportsmanship saying, hey, man, sorry. Field goal good, though, for Diaz, who is the short-range field goal kicker. Jake Thompson will try any boot beyond 50 yards for the Aggies. He's 1 of 2 in that department this year. Thompson kicks off. Tyree Simmons deep to receive for the Rams. Touchback.
First and 10 Rams on 25-yard line.
Todd Orlando and Matt Wells rooting on the defense to hold on, Arts. They've been so effective so far. Only 175 total yards for CSU today.
They've lived up to their billing. The front 7 has absolutely dominated this Colorado State veteran offensive line. They've got penetration in the backfield. They filled nicely from the 2nd and 3rd level. They've had interceptions from the 2 brothers on this defense, and what a job that this unit has done. An offense that came into this game red hot. But you can see why this is the best defense in the Mountain West.
Grayson in the offense back on the field. Hansley makes a lunge and grab. Nice catch at the 30 for Joe Hansley. On first down, now called incomplete as the field judge comes in and rules it no catch. Back down to Evan.
And guys, have been on the sideline for a few Utah State games. This has been a different type of defense for Utah State in between series. Much more business-like. They circled this game knowing it was a chance to prove that they are the best. And we met them last night. They had smiles and they talked about this opportunity. Yeah, for sure. Zach Vigil had a long chat with him yesterday, and he was so amped up about the chance to shut down Capri Bibbs and Colorado State.
Play of an incomplete pass is under further review.
First review of the day, whether or not Hansley made the grab. So our fantastic production crew will help the video official in the booth here to determine whether or not it was a grab by Hansley.
Yeah, I think the ball hit the ground. I think you're going to see it come loose. But going back to what Evan was talking about, this defense kind of stepped up. And after Chucky Keaton got hurt, they got together, had a defensive meeting. Here as we watch this ball.
Looks loose.
It looks loose, but he might have been able to get that hand under it. I can't quite see from that angle.
This angle would be better,
if the ball hit the ground or not, but it definitely was moving around.
I think it got too much ground there, no catch.
Yeah.
I think. We'll see.
Well, going back, talking about this defense, they really took it upon themselves and said, look, this has got to be our football team. We've got to step up.
After further
It's got to be.
review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The pass is incomplete.
And they really took ownership of this team in this season, and I think it's reflected, like Evan was talking about down on the sideline, that it is a business, and it is business-like, and they take a lot of pride, especially in that front seven going up against this rushing attack. They came out here with something to prove this afternoon.
Second and 10. Off the incomplete pass, confirmed by replay. Capri Bibbs looks for something, has nothing. Put down in the backfield again. Zach Vigil, loss of 3, comes up with the ball. Officials say that Bibbs was down.
Loss of 3. Third down and 13 yards to go.
And the struggles continue for the Colorado State offense, third and long here.
It's because of the defensive line. And these linebackers are able to go downhill. Now, there's no hesitation by Vigil. He understands where the play is going, but because of the defensive front, the offensive line is not able to fire and get in the way of these linebackers, and now they can let their athleticism shine and make plays in the backfield.
Zach Vigil's ready. Third and long, Grayson, pressure. Grayson, down he goes again. Hands on the right.
Number 4.
Oh, the blitz puts him down. It's another sack for the Utah State defense. They've been all over Grayson today. Loss of 7.
Yeah, third and long, and you see this defense, they give you a lot of different looks. Everybody's kind of standing around. You're not able to identify where the pressure is coming from. And a big down, and right now this defense is starting to take over the ball game. And you can see they're having a great time out there. They're playing with passion and making a lot of plays.
JoJo Natson received this bomb from Hayden Hunt. Nice punt. Nats at the 30. Likes to wait for the blocks to develop. A nice return setup. Looks for the sideline. A cutback again for JoJo. How quick is he? Hayden Hunt helped put him down. On special teams for Colorado State, along with Trent Sieg. A backup tight end and a freshman for the Rams. 55-yard punt. Stay tuned on CBS Sports Network. Our college football tripleheader continues. Coming up next, Louisiana Tech looks to keep their bowl hopes alive. Need to win their last 2. Welcome in Tulsa after that. Boise State hits the road. Big game against Rocky Long and San Diego State tonight in SoCal. Boise State, that game with San Diego State presented by Pep Boys. Mountain West standings, Fresno State. An easy time today with New Mexico and Boise State in the driver's seat. They have the tiebreaker with Utah State having beaten the Aggies on our air earlier this year here in Logan. First down. Screen pass. Swindle has his first catch of the day, and Bernard Blake wrestles him out of bounds. Arch Louisiana Tech last week, such a struggle with Rice. They've got to win their last 2, UTSA and Tulsa, to become bowl eligible. Can they do it?
I think it's going to be tough. You know, last week, Kenneth Dixon, of course, their best football player, went out, and we're not sure, you know, his status, but that's a team that's struggling a little bit offensively to find out who they are. And I think it's going to be very difficult for them after having a great season last year to get bowl eligible.
Whistles and flags before that play gets going.
False start. Offense. Number 54. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Jamie Marcosi in the right guard. Guilty party there. Fresno State is rolling New Mexico 56-21. And they're about to clinch the West of the Mountain West in the first ever year. 2 divisions. Championship game on CBS. December 7th, 10 Eastern. Fresno State will be in it against either Utah State or Boise State. Second down. Garrettson bounces off a tackler as he ran right into Terry Jackson. No gain. Sarge, for the first time in school history, Fresno State could bust the BCS. Got to finish that top 12 or the top 16 ahead of an AQ, which in this year from the AAC is UCF. At 3:30 Eastern on Black Friday, you and I and Evan will be there with our great crew. Final game of our season together. San Jose State, Fresno State. That's going to be a big one. Spartans have to win the game to become bowl eligible. A lot on the line for both teams next week in San Jose. DiMartino on third down. Does not even get back to the original line of scrimmage. Gain of 4. He's up to under 11 yards rushing for the day with the 1 touchdown we've seen between both teams.
And Dave, going back talking about Fresno State, I had a chance to meet with Tim DeRuyter last year, the head coach of the Bulldogs, and I came away so impressed. I said to myself, this guy is a star. Of course, he had to take over that program from the legendary Pat Hill, who was there for so many seasons and was so successful. But if you talk about a coach whose star is pointing in the up and going up, Tim DeRuyter is a name you got to watch.
Ventured into punt here. Hensley. Fair caught at the 11. Colorado State down 2 scores. They'll get the ball back after the 42-yard punt by Jaron Ventrue.
College football on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Napa. Napa Know-How. By the all-new 2014 Jeep Cherokee. Built free. And by the next generation of PCs from HP. Make it matter.
13-0. Utah State. Fantastic scenery here in the Cache Valley. Wasatch Mountain Chain, southern part of the Rocky Mountains. Fishing in the summer and skiing this time of year. Bundle up, everybody. Chilly late afternoon. And CSU's offense has been ice cold today. Just nothing produced. Last gasp here. Got to have something. Play fake. Grayson. Charles Lovett makes a nice catch. Brian Sweet decks him outside the 25-yard line, something the Rams desperately needed.
Well, the wind has died down, and it's it's hard to tell exactly on the field, but you look at the goalposts, the flags aren't blowing, so maybe they're going to be able to stretch the field a little bit with the downfield passing, and that's the only way they're going to be able to climb back and have a chance of getting in this game.
Gain of 18. Grayson over the middle, nearly intercepted, incomplete. At about the 40. Jake Dowdy broke that one up. Fellow linebacker Zach Vigil and younger brother Nick already have interceptions in this game.
I'm not sure exactly what Garrett Grayson was looking at. There's 3 Utah State defenders right there. That's a triangle. Jake Dowdy almost able to come down with the interception, but I do a little bit better job of decision making at quarterback.
On second down, Bibbs on the screen pass. Brings it in, then driven out of bounds outside the 30. Jordan Nielsen, sophomore from Lewiston, Utah, who had 32 tackles coming in. On the stop, Nick Vigil involved as well. He's had a big day, the freshman linebacker for the Aggies. Third down, pressure. Grayson saved again by Maurice Alexander. The free safety comes free, unblocked. and makes another big defensive play for Utah State.
A great job. You want to talk about an athlete, an athletic play. Maurice Alexander, watch the leap, the athletic ability. Bibbs trying to go low and cut him, and he just jumps right over him and makes the sack. And Todd Orlando loves to blitz the free safety in this defense, and so Maurice Alexander came in to this game with 2.5 sacks, but that's just a great job of not getting cut and making the play. 4th down,
no choice. CSU's got to go for it. More pressure coming. Grayson gets away briefly and then nailed by Jordan Nielsen. Dagger. Another sack for Utah State's defense. They become very familiar with Garrett Grayson today.
Again, coming off of the right side, the field side, right here, overwhelms the left side of that offensive line. Just look at the effort outside by Tay Glover Wright. I mean, he absolutely blasts Capri Bibbs sitting there in pass protection. That's just a tremendous job of taking it to the other team. And after halftime, it's been a great, brilliant performance by the Aggies on defense. But after halftime, it's been lights out.
Garrett's in the offense back on the field. DiMartino's got a big hole. Second level and then some before Blake sends him down. A nice pickup for Joey DiMartino. Back to Adam Zucker. LSU, Texas A&M.
Well, that's right, Dave, and another group of Aggies not having as good a day. They now trail LSU 31-10 over on CBS. Johnny Football 8 of 24 in the game.
Oh, my. Wow. So interesting for Heisman voters like myself, Arch. Wondered about what's going to happen. So much, of course, surrounding the legal situation with Jameis Winston at Florida State.
This year's about as cloudy as it gets.
It is.
It's
2nd and 4. And that, not such a big game for Johnny Football, could derail his hopes so late. We'll see. DiMartino punching forward. He needs a 15 for the first down.
Bernard Blake, assisted by Kevin
Gain of 3. Todd Orlando's got to be pleased. The rush defense, 20th best in the FBS coming in. And as you said, Arch, they have been stout against Colorado State.
They've stuffed them. They've just taken this veteran offensive line, an offensive line that had a lot of experience, and have driven them into the backfield.
3rd down, DiMartino looks for the 15 for the marker, but he's sent backwards. Shaquille Barrett and Max Morgan wrap up Joey DiMartino shy of the marker. No gain on 3rd down, so it's 4th and short. And Nick Diaz going to come back out for another field goal tries. They have a couple already today. We had 1 touchdown in the afternoon, a short 1-yard run for DiMartino. That's been it.
And really, look, we're talking about the Aggies and how well they've played. Let's not take anything away from this Colorado State defense. They've done a tremendous job today, not only holding down a pretty potent offense, but they've done it and largely with their backs against the wall, doing a great job of standing up tough. And so to hold this offense to 13 points now, possibly going to 16 points with the field position that they've had, the Colorado State defense has more than done their job today. The only thing they haven't done is get turnovers and give the ball back to their offense.
Have to go back to 2010 at home in Fort Collins against TCU. Last time Colorado State was shut out 27-0 by the Horned Frogs. And now, if they lose this game, Arch, a lot of drama next week in the Ram Falcon Trophy game for Colorado State against Air Force. They've got to win that to become bowl eligible in Jim McElwain's 2nd season. Diaz tries to make a hat trick today.
And it'll be interesting, of course, how healthy and how effective will Capri Bibbs be for that football game.
Great point. Partially blocked. 33-yard attempt and drifts wide, no good. To keep it 13-0 with 2:50 to go here in our 4th quarter.
Now, I think that was Shaquille Barrett. You're going to get his right hand in there, a guy who's already blocked a few kicks this season. And from 1st quarter to 4th quarter, he's done a great job. Look at number 56. You can't see him right there. He's in front of those two linebackers, but I think it was number 56 who was able to get the right hand out. This guy is a player.
You caught it right, partner. His third blocked field goal of the season. First time in Colorado State history. Earlier this year against Cal Poly, he blocked 2 in a single game. And Utah State has had 4 field goals blocked this season. That's a lot for 1 year. So the Rams back in the field. Delay of game. Not the way you want to start the emergency drive out here.
Delay of game, offense. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
So it was earlier the year. September 14th, home opener against Cal Poly of the FCS. Not 1, but 2 blocked field goals for number 56 in the green and gold for Colorado State. First time in school history. 2 in 1 game. What an athlete. First and 15 off the delay of game. Higgins over the middle. Can't hang on. The umpire got tangled up as well in that one. Paul Pucala and Nick Vigil involved defensively for Utah State.
These linebackers, Dave, are hungry. Now, that front has done a great job all day long, but right now this linebacking core is just having a great time out there trying to make plays. It's fun to watch.
Here's second down. Grayson. Desperate. Grayson. Lots of pressure.
I'd be surprised if they don't throw. I'm surprised he got out of the tackle box on that.
Ball did not reach the line of scrimmage. There's the debate whether or not that was grounding.
The player was outside the pocket. The pass crossed the line of scrimmage.
It did cross the line.
There is no intentional grounding.
So no intentional grounding, no loss of down there for Colorado State.
Boy, to me, that was awfully close of him getting outside the tackle box. I thought for sure that he stayed in. So, you know, the Rams dodging a little bit of a bullet. They're still sitting here staring at 3rd and 15, but this front right now is in attack mode.
A lot of heat there from A.J. Patali. 3rd down, Grayson throws. Catch made by Jordan Vaden. A touchdown early this year against Tulsa. 9-yard pickup there, redshirt freshman from Henderson, Colorado. 2 timeouts left. Fourth down, downfield for Vaden, who would like to get a flag, doesn't get it. And on down, Utah State will get it back and a chance to run the clock out here for the Aggies' 7th win of the year and a chance to move to 6-1 in their first year in the Mountain West.
You can't say enough about Todd Orlando's defense. You really can't. The defensive line has been tremendous. The linebackers, not only in the run game stuffing Capri Bibbs in that rushing attack, but doing an excellent job in pass protection, especially in zone coverage, getting some interceptions. And then the secondary. This is the best secondary that Colorado State has faced the entire season. It's been lockdown out there. Nowhere to go on offense for the Rams.
Todd Orlando, you can see the look in his eye. We met him yesterday. Up for the challenge of stopping Capri Bibbs in the Colorado State offense. DiMartino, patient, waits for the hold of the belt. Not much there. He's at about 122 yards for the game. Today's Napa play of the game on the Utah State Radio Network. Al Lewis got the call.
Now they quickly get to the line for the one handoff. DiMartino, second effort, gets cracked. Second effort, did he get in? Now the officials say yes, touchdown on his second effort. They stopped him initially, then he lowered the head and went in again, and they got tumbled quickly, but a touchdown, Utah State.
Great call, Al. 11th rushing touchdown of the year for DiMartino, the senior from San Diego. Matt Wells, MASH unit type team, all banged up this year, but still winning football games and bowl bound for a 3rd straight season. DiMartino adds to his total. First time in school history arcs, they're going to back-to-back bowl games. And the Gary Anderson to Matt Wells transition, pretty smooth here in Logan.
Really, and think about it. The injuries, especially to Chucky Keaton, losing all the players that they had on offense. For Matt Wells in his first season as a head coach, a young head coach, to be able to navigate this season under these circumstances and still have them playing at a high level, I mean, it's just a tremendous job by by Matt Wells and his entire coaching staff in continuing what Gary Anderson started.
11th youngest coach in the FBS, only 40 years old, Matt Wells. DiMartino on 3rd down. Running clock, the Aggies. So assuming Utah State wins this game, they actually have, for now, a half-game lead on Boise State. The Broncos play on our air coming up later tonight on CBS Sports Network against San Diego State after Tulsa, Louisiana Tech and Conference USA. It's a third of our 3 games today and tonight. Colorado State's got the Ram Falcon Trophy game, their 3rd trophy game of the year against Air Force, winless in Mountain West play. Air Force lost a tough one to UNLV. How about UNLV, by the way? First time in a long time, since 2000, bowl eligible for Bobby Howe. Congratulations to the Rebels.
A lot of great stories across college football this season, UNLV being one of them. And I know you like those trophy games, don't you, Dave?
It's a big thing for me. Bronze boot, Wyoming, Colorado State won by the Rams this year. The Centennial Cup you and I cover on CBS Sports Network, September 1st against Colorado. They lost that one. So they're 1-1 in trophy games, and they've got the Air Force game coming up. 5 teams bowl eligible heading into today in the Mountain West. And Fresno State, of course, it's a possibility they can bypass all those bowl games and for the first time in school history make the BCS in the final year of the BCS setup. An easy win for them today over New Mexico. And such a key, too, Arch, that Fresno had the Colorado game, not that they would have beaten Colorado, but canceled due to the flooding, the tragic flooding there in the Denver area. So they'll play just 11 this year.
And you can argue, look, on paper, in the way Fresno State has played this year and Colorado has played this year, that they probably would have won that football game, but that's the way it played out.
On 4th down, DiMartino tries to move the chains and instead gets sent backwards with just 33 seconds left. And we'll be there in Northern California. San Jose State will host 15th ranked Fresno State. Fresno State's got to win, of course, to keep their hopes alive for the BCS, first in school history. They're already into the Mountain West Championship game, December 7th on CBS at 10 Eastern. They've got to win 2 to make that BCS, and it could happen for the Bulldogs, led by the great Derek Carr. Tremendous quarterback. We'll have that call for you next week. First down in the final moments, Grayson. Emblematic of the way the day has gone. More pressure, Paul Bucala all over Garrett Grayson. And the offense has been miserable today for Coach McElwain's Rams, 190 yards total.
I knew, and I'm sure, you know, we talked about it, that it would be a stiff challenge for this offense to come out here against this defense and perform at the level they've been doing the last 2 games. But to play like this, and the Aggies, this is a nicely played game on defense.
Grayson rolls and then throws incomplete near Lovett. Third down. Grayson, more pressure. Fackrell rakes the ball right out of the hand of Garrett Grayson, but it's recovered by the Rams inside the 10.
And I was just about to say, we haven't heard a lot from Kyler Fackrell today. But of course, it's fitting that one of the best athletes on this great defense ends the game like that.
Ty Sambrilo, offensive lineman for Colorado State, jumped on the fumble, but their first shutout since 03, Arkansas State for Utah State. And the first time since 2010, Colorado State has been shut out. That was in October of that year at home against TCU. 13-0. All defense, Arch, for the Aggies. That's an impressive pitching of a shutout today against a very good Colorado State team.
Yeah, Colorado State played great defense as well, but not as good or as impressive as Todd Orlando's crew on the other side of the ball. Just a fantastic game and a great way to be playing in the middle of November.
Rams came in averaging 36.5 points a game, third best in the Mountain West. And we're coming off the 66-point offensive firework explosion against New Mexico. Evan Washburn on the field with a special guest.
Well, Coach, I saw you give defensive coordinator Todd Orlando a big hug there. How impressed are you with the defensive effort your guys put out there?
I mean, it's a team that just scored 66 last week, and a back that's had 1,000 yards in 5 weeks and 600 in the last 2 weeks, and our defense is pretty good. That's why we're the best defense in the Mountain West Conference, and I was just telling him congratulations and just happy as heck for our kids.
Offensively, though, you realize that the passing game was affected by the wind, and the ground game really picked up. How important was that?
Well, it was a team victory. We didn't execute as well as we wanted to on offense. Had to run the ball a little bit more. At times we didn't do it great, but it's a win, and we got to number 7. I'm just happy for our players.
I asked you this last time. You watching that Boise State game tonight?
We will be tonight.
All right, man. Congratulations.
And Evan, coach, she'll be celebrating 7-4 overall and 6-1 in the Mountain West. If Boise State loses to San Diego State, things are very interesting in the conference, and Utah State has a chance to win the Mountain Division. For Adam Archuleta, Evan Washburn, the entire crew, I'm Dave Ryan. For scores, highlights, features, and more, go to CBSSports.com. It's been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. So long from Logan, Utah, and thanks for watching. We'll send you to the studio next. And coming up after that, Tulsa, Louisiana Tech in Conference USA. And after that, San Diego State. A big game tonight against Boise State. All Utah State today.